Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are going to get into something really cool: how to build genuinely smart AI systems. We'll do that by looking at 3 advanced design patterns for getting AI agents to actually work together like a real team. Look, a single AI agent is smart. We know that. But to solve the really messy, complex problems, the kind we face in the real world, one agent just isn't enough. The real power, the real breakthrough comes from making them work together. So how do we actually architect these AI teams? Let's get into it. All right, first up, we've got a pattern that I like to call the perfectionist. You know the type. This is the team member that's all about quality control, the one who will not stop until the job meets our exact non-negotiable standards. So imagine this. You give an AI a task with a rule that absolutely cannot be broken. Let's say you're planning a trip, and you tell it, the hotel must be less than a 30-minute drive from the conference. No exceptions. Well, that's the exact kind of problem the self-correcting loop is built to handle perfectly. Here's how it works, and it's actually pretty elegant. You've got one agent, the generator, and its job is to come up with a solution, find a hotel. Then a second agent, the critique, steps in. Its job is to be the quality checker. It looks at the plan and checks it against our 30-minute rule. If it fails, it sends it right back with feedback, and this loop just keeps going. Plan, critique, feedback, repeat, until that plan is flawless. Now, this brings up a really important trade-off. On the one hand, you get amazing precision. The quality is guaranteed. Your plan will meet your rule. But on the other hand, every trip around that loop costs you time and it costs you money. So it's super important to design a really clear exit condition. Otherwise, you could get stuck in an endless cycle of revisions. Okay, let's bring in our next team member. This is where things start to build on each other. This agent is basically the project manager, the one who oversees the whole operation from, a 30,000-foot view. Think of this coordinator agent as a really smart project manager. It takes a big, messy request, takes a good look at it, and then intelligently breaks it down into smaller, manageable chunks. And here's the key. It knows exactly who on the team, which specialized agent, is the perfect one to handle each specific part of the job. For example, let's say you want a whole night out. You ask for sushi, a ride, tickets to a museum, and a concert. The coordinator doesn't try to do all that work itself. No way. It sees the different parts of your request and starts routing traffic. Sushi and a ride goes to one specialist agent. Museum and concert tickets can go to another. And maybe they can even search for those in parallel to speed things up. So this pattern really shows you the power of delegation. It's incredibly flexible. You can throw massive, complicated problems at it. The catch? Well, that extra management step, the routing, it adds a little bit of time and cost. It's a really powerful system, but it's definitely more complex to design and, to debug if something goes wrong. Now for our third pattern. This one is a bit more subtle, but it's a really important alternative. Here, the main agent isn't a hands-off manager. It's more like a hands-on expert, a master craftsman who uses other agents like their specialized tools in a workshop. Okay, I know what you're thinking. At first glance, this sounds a lot like the coordinator pattern, right? You've got a main agent and some sub-agents, but the difference is huge, and it's so important to get this. It all boils down to one word: control. So here's the core difference. The coordinator is a manager. It delegates a task and basically trusts the sub-agent to go off and handle its part of the project on its own. It gives away control. But with the agent as tool pattern, the main agent is a craftsman. It picks up a specialized tool agent to do one very specific job, gets the result, and then puts that tool down. Then it picks up another tool for the next step. It never gives up control. It manages the entire state of the project the whole time. So we've met the whole team. We have the perfectionist, the project manager, and the master craftsman. The big question now is, how do you know which one to call for which job? Let's make this easy. Here's your cheat sheet. If you're just building a simple prototype, a single agent is probably fine. For workflows that are structured and need to be reliable, you'd use sequential or parallel agents. When you have a strict rule that cannot be broken, you call in the loop pattern. And for the really big, dynamic, complex problems, that's when you choose between the coordinator or the agent as tool. And it all depends on how much control you need to maintain over the process. At the end of the day, these patterns aren't just abstract ideas. They are the actual architectural blueprints for building the next generation of AI systems. Systems that are more powerful, more reliable, and just plain smarter.
So the question we're left with isn't just about what a single AI can do anymore. It's about what an entire AI team can achieve.